Hey you guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to my channel. So today it is time to do another part of my makeup collection. We are going to be doing highlighters today. I actually tried to film this video once already and I just got fed up and decided to stop, and I'm trying to keep these from getting too long, so I'm just gonna quit rambling right now and get straight into it. As always, I will list all of the products down below so that if they are still available, you guys can get them, and if not, you guys will be aware, and I will also link all of my previous collection videos down below as well. So let's just get straight into this. Straight off the bat, I'm going to tell you guys about my highlighter palettes. Now, I don't have a ton. I've only got about 5 of them, so this won't be a super long section. So the first one that I have is this one. This is from Lorac. I don't know if this is the name of it up top, this Verum Omnia Simulastra, whatever. It came out in the Pirates of the Caribbean collection a while ago. These are the shades here. So you kind of get like, you know, a bunch of these three I've always kind of used as blushes, but they definitely could be highlights. Like, they're shimmery enough, but they're also really, really beautiful blushes. The colors in this palette are unbelievable. I love the Lorac formula for highlighters, really for shadows and everything in general. I don't have a ton of Lorac, but all of it that I have had, the formula has been amazing. You definitely can't get this anymore. It was limited edition a couple of years ago, but I just wanted to show you guys that I had it. Next palette I have is the Scott Barnes Glowy and Showy highlighting palette. I recently did a video where I swatched all of these for you, and then I used some of them on my face as well. This is what the palette looks like. This is definitely still available. You get 8 really, really gorgeous highlighting shades. Definitely some are better suited for like my skin tone than others. Obviously some of these darker shades probably meant for someone with a darker skin tone, but I said in that video, if you are like a freelance makeup artist or somebody that does a lot of other people's makeup a lot of the time, I think that this would be a really good addition to any makeup kit. I'm not going to swatch it just because I have a whole video dedicated to that I put up not long ago, but this is amazing. It is like my new holy grail highlighter product. I'm obsessed with this. I've tried not to use it every time I do my makeup, but it's really, really difficult. Next 2 items I have 2 of these MAC, I think these are called the Star Dipped Face Compact. So they came out with 2 around Christmas time. This is the light one here. So you just get 4 shades in it. These are like all extra dimension things. So you get a couple blush shades on the top, and then the highlighters are on the bottom. This sticker already kind of fell off the back, so I'll just use that to my advantage. So the pink shade on the top is, you know, Dipped in Stars. This is Sippin' on Stars. Show Gold is a regular edition color, so this is one that you could just get if it was something you wanted. And this one is High Sequency. So yeah, I believe one of these 2, whichever one it is, I really don't know. I would assume it's this one. The High Gold you can get. It is regular, part of the regular line. These are, of course, unavailable now. They came out for the Christmas collection. Again, I'm just showing you guys because this is a comprehensive look at my collection. And then this is the medium deep one. So it comes with 2 kind of bronzer shades. And then again, you get 2 highlights. So Oh Darling, that's this one, is available in a permanent shade. And then I'm pretty sure Delphic, which is this, it's an extra dimension. I've had it before. It's a bronzer, so I'm not 100% sure, but I know they do release it, again, an awful lot. So this is not so much a blush and highlighter palette for me. It's a bronzer and highlighter palette, but it's still really, really nice. The last palette that I have, this is this Revolution or Makeup Revolution London Pro HD Amplified palette. So again, it comes with 8 different highlights in it. You get a couple that have like I was gonna say multi-toned, but like they have different colors in them, so you swirl them together, you get really pretty colors. This palette for me was really interesting because I thought it was kind of unique. Like, you get this really cool, like, minty sort of a highlight, and then you have like this one, which I would use kind of as a blush, but it's also like a peachy highlight. It had some really unique shades for me that actually filled in spots of my collection, which was what was important. They are really, really pretty. They're a little drying. They do kick up a bit of powder, but still a really nice palette option. So technically, I guess the MAC Strobe creams kind of count as moisturizers, and I could have easily put them in my moisturizing priming place, but they sit in my highlighting drawer. I don't really know why. They used to be up in my moisturizer drawer. So I have 2 of the regular Strobe creams. This is the Peachlite one. The sticker just wore off. And I also have Silverlite. I have also tried the original Pink Light. At this point, I do still use these pretty frequently, but I have so many glowy primers that I kind of skip a step. So these are some products that, like, I prefer the Peachlite. It is my favorite by far. So once I've used these both up, I would repurchase the Peachlite and not the Silverlite, but these are really, really good as like a illuminating moisturizer option. They always sit really well under all kinds of makeup, under all kinds of primers. And if you're just like running out of the house in a summer day and you want just like a little bit more life to your skin, these are really, really good for that. I also have this strobing body lotion. This is in the color Opalite, but honestly, it's pretty much the exact same as Pinklight was in the regular one. Pinklight is the original strobe cream. This again is really nice. You could easily use it on your face. It's just sort of in a bigger bottle for your body. Another sort of body shimmer product I have, this is the Sol de Janeiro Rio Sunset Glowmotions Glow Oil. I also used to have Goldie Rocks, but I decluttered it just because this one gives you a little bit of like a tan color. The other one was just a little bit too pale. These are super, super glittery. They smell amazing. They smell like coconut. I'm not going to put it on right now just because I don't feel like being covered in glitter, but they are very, very glittery, but they feel really nice on the skin because they are an oil. They are transfer resistant, so that is really, really nice. And important because the last thing you want to do is like put one of these on and then have it get all over your clothes or anything like that. Just make sure you wait till it dries before you do put clothes over top of it. This I've worn to like a couple of weddings and things like that when I want a little bit more shine across like my shoulders, my chest, a little bit down my legs. It is absolutely gorgeous. Another body glow item I have, this is this BECCA Glow Body Stick in Champagne Pop. This came out recently, maybe last summer. It's sort of like a giant like stick highlighter. It is again super duper like glittery, but it is really nice, and because it is in this form, I don't mind so much. If it were like a loose powder, I could imagine the glitter going everywhere, but because it is in a stick, it does stay down. It does have a tint to it as well. It would look much better on like a tan skin tone, but right now I'm pretty pale. So again, this is a really, really nice item just to throw across like your collarbone, your shoulder blades, not your shoulder blades, your shoulders. It adds a really, really nice sparkle for a fun day. Since we're talking about like liquidy highlighters, I'll just quickly jump into these. You'll notice I'm not swatching everything. That's because a lot of these things are very well-known products. You guys don't need to see them swatched. If you guys are curious about anything, I can always swatch them and post pictures or small videos to my Instagram at a later date. So these are two of the BECCA Shimmering Skin Perfector liquids. I have them in Moonstone and Champagne Pop. I love these. These mix really, really well with foundation. If you want to give your foundation a little bit of like a glow or a reflect, they're really, really nice. They also sit really, really nicely on top of the skin. You just have to kind of figure out how you apply them best. For me, it's with a stippling brush just across like my cheekbone, that sort of a thing. They would look really, really pretty on the body. They are just very subtle. I will show you one of them. Just like a really nice like sheen. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's just beautiful. They're super reflective. They dry down really nicely. They don't like get clumpy or anything like that. I really like these products. I mix them more with my foundations, but like I said, I have worn them as standalones. So two products that I have that are kind of similar to those last ones. These are the Marc Jacobs Dewdrops. I have them in Do You and also Fantasy. I think Fantasy might have been limited edition. I'm not 100% sure if you can get it anymore. It was like this rose gold color, but the regular ones are, you know, part of their permanent line, and they are freaking amazing. They give you the best glow. Like, these are some of my favorite highlighters, especially if you like the liquid ones. And they've got a really, really interesting texture because it's not quite a liquid. It is more of like a gel consistency. So this is what that looks like. The highlight is just so intense. I only really wear this mixed with foundations. I find it mixes really well. It does thicken up your foundation a little bit, but that's not a problem for me. I very, very, very rarely wear this as a standalone highlighter just because it is so intense, and a little goes a long way. Like, I'm sure you guys saw how little I had on my hand and it blended out pretty much into this. Like a little goes a very, very long way with this stuff. It is a little bit more on the expensive side, so that's something to keep in mind, but if you have the money or you're saving and you're looking for a product like this, it is totally worth it. Next product, these came out, I guess last summer or the summer before, in the Too Faced Tutti Frutti collection. So these are these fresh squeezed drops. So I have them in Sparkling Pina Colada and also Sparkling Pink Grapefruit. These are, I'm just going to shake them up so I can show you guys, just super, super, if it would focus, sorry, glittery. Again, for me, for things like this, I don't wear these as standalone highlighters. You can tell I've used quite a bit more of the pineapple one than the pink grapefruit, but I don't use these as standalone highlighters. These, again, are another product that I like to mix in with either my foundation or my moisturizer, just to give a little bit of a shine, a little bit of, you know, some glow, and they smell freaking amazing. I don't know if these are still available, but if they are, I will link them down below for you. So since we're into liquid highlights, I might as well keep going. So this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Glow. This is in the shade Perla. I actually picked this up at either a Winners or a Marshalls or something like that. It is just a liquid highlighter. This is okay. They're beautiful. They remind me quite a bit of the BECCA highlighters. And I particularly do love this color. I think for my skin tone, it is just absolutely gorgeous. They also mix really, really nice with foundations. I actually, now looking at it, forgot how much I really like this. I don't use this anywhere near enough, and I should start using it more because it gives you a really, really pretty highlight without like that glitter bomb effect. And that's a big thing for me. I'm not a glittery person. I just like to glow. Next thing here, I have two of these Cover FX drops. So this little one is in Moonlight. It came out in a like Christmas collection. There used to be 4 of them. This is the only one I have left. And I also have this full-size one. This is in the shade Blossom. It's got a little bit of a pinky tone to it. So again, with products like this for me, oh, sorry, I'm not even in screen. I'm just gonna put some right here so you guys can kind of see what it looks like. For me, something like this is, again, something I would mix into a foundation. I would not just wear that as a standalone, but they are really interesting texture, or really not texture, formula. They are very, very weightless. They kind of feel like they're almost oil-based. They blend in really, really nicely. And what's nice about them is they don't affect your foundation when you mix it together. Some of the products that I have talked about can react funny with certain foundations. Depending on, you know, the formula of those. You might not want to mix some of these things. You just kind of have to test it and figure out what mixes well with what and what really doesn't want to be mixed, because sometimes things like this can separate your formula. Your foundation, sorry. Another liquid highlight I have, this is the NARS Orgasm liquid highlighter. So it comes sort of in this really, really cute bottle. You definitely have to shake it up because it does separate a lot, and then you basically like pull this thing off the top, and this acts as like your little like dropper. Wish my camera would freaking focus on the product in hand rather than whatever it's trying to focus on. So this is what they look like. They are super pink in their like typical NARS Orgasm color. These do mix really well with foundation, and if you like a pink highlighter, these do look really pretty on the skin as well. And if you don't, you could definitely use it as like a blush, like a liquid blush. It would just be a bit more of a shiny blush or even a blush topper. Last sort of liquid highlight product that I have, these are these MAC Luster Drops. So I don't think that they make these anymore. These were released in a limited edition collection a while ago. These are in Pink Rebel. I also used to have ones in Gold Rinse or something like that. They put them out in some collections sometimes. This particular one's from the Ellie Goulding collection. I think they also came out in the Fruity Juicy collection, but don't hold me to that. So these are this beautiful, beautiful, like light pink drops. They are kind of like more of a champagne-y pink. Again, if this camera would focus, they are stunning. They melt beautifully into the skin. Like there's nothing left there, just beautiful, beautiful glow for like the most subtle sheen. That's why I really like these, is they are quite a bit more subtle. They're not super intense. They're not super glittery. And much like a lot of the other ones I've talked about today, these mix really well with foundation as well. So now we're going to get into one of my favorite highlighting formulas, my stick highlighter. So this first one here is my favorite stick highlighter. This is my Too Faced I Want Candy Candy Glow Luminizer highlighter. I actually do have a full size, another backup of this because it was limited edition. It smells amazing. It smells like candy. I'm really getting annoyed with my camera right now. I'm trying to figure out what it thinks it's focusing on and then get it to focus on the right things. So it smells amazing. Like I said, it just smells super sugary, super sweet. It's in the most beautiful, like pink kind of shimmery color. Absolutely stunning. I love these products. I love to layer them with powder highlighters. I like to wear them as standalones. It would be really beautiful as like an eyeshadow gloss kind of thing if that was something you were into. I really, really like this. It's beautiful. Unfortunately, I don't know if it is available anymore, but they do put out products like this quite often just in limited edition collections, so it's always possible you could get something similar. Next one I have is this NARS, the Multiple. This is in the shade Copacabana. So it's in like a kind of champagne-y kind of a color. This is what it looks like right here. Again, absolutely beautiful. The size is a little intense, but you can always turn it on its edge if you're trying to get a bit of a finer line or a little bit finer of a detail. It is absolutely stunning, and it looks really, really beautiful on top of most, if not all, makeup. Another NARS kind of product that I have that is pretty much the same as that one. This is this duo. It's a sculpting multiple duo. So one side has the shade Laguna, which is their like most famous bronzer shade. So it's just a cream version of that bronzer. And on the other side is the shade Hot Sand. It's kind of like a peachy sort of a tone. Looks like that. Absolutely stunning. And what I did there is I just turned it on the edge so that you could see that like you can get a really fine line, or you could get like a bit. Now this can, obviously, as you can see, come off kind of chunky sometimes, but they tend to blend out. Oh, not that great. Okay. This one would almost be prettier as like a blush color because of the tone that it has, but it can be really pretty as a bit of a different kind of a highlight as well. Another product I have like those, this is the Hourglass Vanish. I think these are called Flash Sticks, but I don't really know. This is in the shade Flash Gold. I absolutely adore this. I love the shape of it because the edges and the tips are really, really good to get nice fine lines. But again, like all the others, you definitely can turn it on its side and get a really, really, you know, big, bold highlight. I always want to buy more of these, but I can never remember what shade that I have. I'm just going to have to keep in mind that this is the shade. They are absolutely beautiful, but they are very, very expensive. Next product I have is not really a highlighter. It is a MAC lipstick, but I bought it with the intent of using it as a highlighter. This is in the shade Soft Hint. It's like this really pretty metallic blue. It is a frost lipstick, and I just thought that it would be like a really, really unique kind of highlighting situation if for any reason I ever was like, you know what, I could use a really, really cool blue highlighter. I have this. I think it just shows how different kinds of makeup can be repurposed and, you know, serve multiple uses in a collection. It's really important, especially if you're somebody who maybe is trying to, you know, cultivate a makeup collection on a bit more of a budget, to find those sort of products that are like, okay, I have this blush, but could I also use it as an eyeshadow or a lipstick, or, you know, use a lipstick and see what can you use it as. This next one I have is another bit of another one that's a bit expensive. This is the Marc Jacobs Spotlight Glow Stick. It kind of looks like a deodorant stick in my opinion, but it is really, really pretty. It's like this pretty much like light golden, almost white-ish kind of highlighter. Absolutely stunning. My parents actually bought this for me for Christmas this past year, and I really like it. Again, it's in a big, big size, so getting it perfectly placed in small strategic areas can be difficult, but it just takes working with like everything else, so I do really like that. The last stick highlight I have, I think is like the most popular one. This is Benefit What's Up. So this is one of those highlighters that on one side it comes with a sponge so that you can blend your highlight out, and on the other side is the highlighter itself. It is one of the most like well-known industry highlighters in this kind of a form. It's this beautiful, beautiful like champagne, peachy kind of gold color. Absolutely stunning. I love this. I don't use it all the time anymore because I have so many others, but I do really like this one. Time to get into some of my powder highlighters. So the first two I'm going to show you guys, I'm not going to swatch either of them because they do make quite a bit of a mess. I have two of these MAC iridescent powders, so they are both loose powders. One is in the shade Golden Bronze, the other one is in Silver Dusk. I'm not 100% sure if you can still get these or not. I've had a bunch of loose powder highlighters in the past. These are the only two I've kept because they just give you the most beautiful, like, pearlescent sheen. They're not glitter, and I find that a lot of loose powders are just like another word for just like a glitter disaster. So these are not super glittery. They just give you the most beautiful glow, the most beautiful shine. I don't use them like setting powders. I do just sort of put them in the same key areas that I would put normal highlighter, but it is just another formula. I also have one of these like MAC cream highlighters. These are these cream color bases. This is in the shade Shell. I also used to have the shade Hush, but I ended up getting rid of it when I did a previous declutter. I really like this. It is a very, very nice product. It's not my favorite of all of my like cream highlighters. It can be a little bit more difficult to use just because it is a bit more of a thick formula. Like, it's quite in the pan. You can get it to work, but like, I don't know, it takes a lot of heating up with your finger to get it to move around a lot. So key placement is important when you use these. They are a little bit difficult, but they are beautiful. I have two Physicians Formula Butter highlighters. So these are in the shade Champagne and also Pink Rose. I really like these. They have the same formula as like their butter bronzer, their butter blushes. They are super, super soft. They are extremely glittery though. I don't use them a ton. They are very, well, I guess they're not that glittery. They're just super intense. And, you know, it took me a long time to figure out how to use the butter bronzer formula properly. It's also been taking some time to figure out how to use this properly, but they are absolutely stunning. You know, they're just super intense, super dark, and for me, I normally like a little bit more subtle of a highlight, and I haven't quite figured out how to get these to be subtle yet. I have this Laura Geller Gelato Swirl highlighter. This is in the shade Ballerina. And I love this stuff. It is absolutely stunning. It came in like a boxy charm. It's like a baked highlighter, but it just has the most beautiful like color payoff. It is just gorgeous. You can blend it out quite well. Like, obviously I put that on with my finger, but if I put it on with a brush, it does blend down quite nicely. It can be a lot more natural. I really want to get a couple more of these. I was watching Kelly Strack do her declutter series, like an old declutter lately, and she has like all of these and she just like rants and raves about them. So I definitely want to get some more, but this is the only one I have right now. I have this one Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powder. This is in the shade Precious Petals. I bought this as a dupe to my BECCA, I think my Champagne Pop. I'm not going to swatch it for you guys just because it's, again, a really well-known product. It's been out for a long time. It is an inexpensive drugstore option, and they are absolutely stunning. Beautiful, beautiful pigmentation. Really, really nice product. Since I just talked about my BECCA Champagne Pop, I do have these two BECCA Shimmering Skin Perfector pressed powder. So I have Champagne Pop and I also have the color Opal. Again, these are very well-known products, give a really beautiful highlight. They have tons and tons of color options. They are very, very nice. One product that I'm very bummed out that they actually don't make anymore, so again, I'm not going to swatch them just because you guys can't get them, but I'll show you them anyway, are these BECCA, I think they're called Light Chaser highlights, and I'm so bummed that they don't make these anymore because they are my absolute favorite. So this one is in Pearl Flashes Gold. This one is my particular favorite. This is Opal Flashes Jade. Basically what they did for these is they took like their regular Shimmering Skin Perfector colors and then just put a color in it for it to like color shift to. So I think this is Champagne Dream Flashes Bellini. So it's kind of a champagne color and it turns to kind of like a peach Bellini sort of a tone. I have Topaz Flashes Gilt. It's like a super goldeny yellow kind of a color. Some of these are super intense and I don't wear them a ton. So this is Amethyst Flashes Geo. This is one of those ones. It's like a really pretty purple highlight. They're super unique though, which is why I keep them because, you know, I don't know where else I would get a product quite like this in a formula that I love as much as I love these. And this last one is Rose Quartz Flashes Seashell. It's like a really pretty kind of pink color. I have 5 of the Kylie highlighters. These are the Pressed Illuminating Powders. So I have them in Ice Me Out. Looks like that. I used to have all 6 of these. I did get rid of one. This one is in Queen Drip. Like a really pretty peachy kind of color. I really like these products. I think that they are very good. This is Cheers Darling. Got this one in Dreamin' of Diamonds. It's like a true kind of a white gold color. It's showing up a lot more white on the camera. It's like really yellow in person. This one is my favorite. This is Princess Please. It's like this beautiful pink one. I am going to swatch this one because it is my favorite. It goes really nicely with that Too Faced I Want Candy Glow highlighter if I'm going to be pairing a cream and a powder together. I've got another one of these Natasha Denona All Over Glows. This is in the proper shade for me, so this is shade 1 Light. I showed you guys the medium one that I have, which I use as like a bronzer. This is absolutely stunning, super gorgeous, also super expensive. And then I have this Jouer pH Rose Quartz Powder Highlighter, so I guess pH is powder highlighter. This is in Rose Quartz. Again, just an absolutely stunning, like pink sort of highlighting color. Oh, I just love this so much. These are beautiful. I want more so badly. I've only got a few left to show you guys that aren't MAC blushes, so we're going to power through those, or sorry, highlighters. We're going to power through those, and then I'll get into some of my MAC ones. So I have this Essence Pure Nude highlighter in Be My Highlight. So it's like this really subtle, absolutely gorgeous like pink highlight, well peachy kind of highlight. Looks really nice on fair skin. This is one of these Maybelline Master Chromes. This one is in Molten Rose Gold. These have a ton of pigment, but they are super chunky when you put them on, and again really intense. Kind of remind me of like those butter bronzers in their formula. They are a very soft formula, lot of payoff and highlight, but they are super intense. I have one Makeup Forever highlighter. This is a Pro Light Fusion in the shade 01. So it's like this silvery kind of a pink tone, super pretty. I had another one of these. I did get rid of it, but they are absolutely stunning. They, again, give a ton of glow. Pretty much everything that I have here gives a ton of glow, so I'm sorry if I've said it too much, but these are really nice as well. I've got one of these Make Up Your Mind Cosmetics highlighters. This is in the shade Fame and Fortune. It is like this really yellow highlighter. Again, the camera's not really doing it justice, but it is absolutely stunning. It is a very unique color for my collection. It is like a sunny yellow, more than a golden kind of color. I really like this. Mickey actually gave this to me when we did one of our swaps, like way back in the day. So the last two that I have that are not MAC, I have 2 of these Kat Von D Metal Crush highlighters. Now, something I will say about these is they are really glittery, like really glittery. I'm not going to swatch them because I don't feel like getting glitter all over myself. But if you're going to use these, you want like a super punchy, glittery highlight. Otherwise, they're just going to be too intense. So I have those in the shades Gold School and Gamma Ray, which is my favorite. Now we're going to get into all of my MAC highlighters. I'm going to try to go through as many of the limited edition ones first, just to get them out of the way, and then I will go through some of the ones that you can still get now, or, you know, that get re-released often enough. Alrighty, so this first one came out in the Fruity Juicy collection. This is Oh My Passion. It's sort of like a, I don't know how to describe this, like a highlight and a bronzer, and I don't know. So it has these 4 separate colors that you have, but then if you, so it's like these 4 colors, I don't know if you guys can see, and then if you swirl them all together, you get this really like unique sort of like highlighter color. I'm trying to like show you guys. Like you get these really unique flushes. It's not the most glowy highlight. It's almost more of a blush, but it is pretty. I do like it. It was limited edition, so I keep it because it's very unique. But I do really like it. It's just, it's a very particular product with a very particular use that I haven't totally discovered yet, but it is really nice. Another one I have that was limited edition that I've never, like, I swatched it in the store when I originally bought it, but I have never touched this one because I love the design so much. This is this MAC highlighter. It came in the Bowl Me Over collection. This is in the shade Trophy. I have never used this. I can't imagine I will. The reason being that once you start swatching it, like, the red marks on the pins kind of wear out, and you just lose track, but all of the colors are really, really pretty. I can tell you guys that. Again, this was limited edition, so swatching it really bears nothing here. This is one of those things where it sounds really stupid, but I literally just keep it to look at it because I love it so much. It's so pretty. I have this opalescent powder in Shooting Star. It came out in the most recent Christmas release. It is just like this, like, pinky lilac-y kind of powder that is sort of an all over the face kind of a powder. It looks really, really nice as sort of a blurring, like kind of like hourglass, like the ambient lighting powder in dim light. It sort of just like blends your whole face together. It gives you a really, really pretty shine, a really, really nice flush. It is a really nice product. Next one I have came out last year in the, was it last year or a couple years ago? This is Whisper of Guilt. It came out in the Snowball collection. This was some of my favorite packaging that MAC ever put out. It was like all this beautiful foiled packaging. This is an extra dimension highlight. It is absolutely freaking gorgeous. These are probably their best highlighter formulas. They are just stunning. Again, unfortunately, this is limited edition, but Whisper of Guilt has made appearances in other MAC collections, so it will probably come out again. It's just a matter of time. I have this extra dimension one. This is in the shade Snow Flushed. Now this was actually in one of the Star Dipped compacts that I showed you guys as well. I just have its full size also in case I end up decluttering one of those palettes because I do really like this. It's a really, really unique highlighting shade. It is a little glittery, but it's got the weirdest like pink to orange to whatever reflect in it, gold. It's just so, so gorgeous that I don't want to give it up. Next one I have, this is this Aladdin powder. It says powder blush and it just says it's one jump ahead, but it's not a blush. It's definitely a highlight. It's like a more subtle highlight. It doesn't have quite like the glow or the glitter that some of the extra dimension ones have, but this to me is definitely a highlighter. It's not so much a blush. It's got a really cool like gold sandy kind of shift to it. Absolutely beautiful. These next three that I have were limited edition to the Star Trek collection. These are these Trip the Light Fantastic powders. So I have them in Highly Illogical, also in Luna Luster, which is this one, and the last one is Strange New Worlds. So these powders came out kind of with the effect to look like planets. They are absolutely stunning. They give a really cool effect when they're all blended together. And my favorite thing about these is that even when you blend them together, you don't lose that swirl pattern. They are really, really pretty, really unique, but unfortunately they were limited edition, so you guys can't get them anymore. Now we're gonna talk about all of the blushes. Well, these two blushes here, or not blushes, highlighters are also limited edition, but because the collection just released, you can probably still get them. These are these extra dimension skin finishes in Hot Demoiselle d'Avignon and also in Postmodernist Peach. These came out in the Loud and Clear collection. Again, I'm not going to swatch them for you here because I just did it recently, but they are absolutely beautiful. One's like a champagne-y kind of gold, and the other one is like a pink gold, rose gold kind of an effect. Now everything else I mentioned is part of their regular line, so I've got a bunch more of these extra dimension highlighters. I should have one more. There it is right there. You guys can't even see them. There they are right there. I also have one of their mineralized skin finishes. Oh, two of those, excuse me. So let's talk about these extra dimension ones first. I'm going to keep swatching down my arm because they are so beautiful. So this first one, this is in Soft Frost. It's like this white that kind of flashes to a purple sort of a tone. Looks like that. Really, really, really pretty. This one is in Beaming Blush. It's like a pinky with some champagne-y sort of tones to it. They're not translating on camera quite like they translate in real life, unfortunately. They are much more intense, much more shifty in real life in color. This is Double Gleam. It's kind of like a light gold. This one is in Superb. This is one of the darker shades that they have. More of a blush for somebody like me, but definitely would be good with someone with a deeper skin tone. And this last one is in Show Gold. Again, I told you one of them was available in a full size. This is the one. It's like this really interesting like pinky, champagne-y kind of a shift to it. Last two products I have, this mineralized one, I'm not sure if you can still get it. This is in Warm Aura. This is when they put out like the quads of highlighters, but you do just blend it together and you get like a really pretty sort of pinky kind of a highlight. I'll just throw that right there for you guys. And the last one is my all-time favorite Holy Grail blush that everybody knows about, and every time I buy it for someone, they rant and rave about how amazing it is. Of course, I have MAC Soft and Gentle. It is just stunning. The most gorgeous, natural, but super glowy blush that MAC, not blush, I gotta stop saying that, highlighter that MAC ever put out. I absolutely adore this. So that is my highlighting collection. Any comments, leave me down below. I love hearing from you guys. Keep an eye out. I will be posting more videos on my collection. I've got a few more sections to go. This was one of the bigger ones, so I'm sorry if this video was really long. Any highlighters that maybe I need to get and I'm missing in my collection, or maybe I should be trying out, let me know. What do you guys have here? What do you guys want here? I always love hearing from you guys. I always try and respond to everything that I hear from you guys. It is difficult, but I do make a solid effort. So if you like these kind of videos, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, comment down below. I would really appreciate it, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.